Hey, what up, YouTube? This is Brian coming to you with another Blerd broadcast video where we review everything from comic books to animated movies to video games to sci-fi and all of nerd culture. So, I did something I don't normally do, and I was on Reddit because I was bored. And man, oh man, I ran across this Reddit thread, and it was about Shang-Chi. And it was, what are your thoughts on Shang-Chi? Now, I already knew, I thought I knew what I was going to see when I clicked on the thread. But it actually kind of surprised me, and I had a billion fucking questions. It was crazy. But before we get into this, make sure you like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to grow. And also make sure you also follow me on Twitch because, I've been gaming a lot and I got some games that are in the queue right now that I'm trying to get on. So, but back to Shang-Chi. So I thought I knew what I was going to get into. I thought I knew what I was going to see because I did watch Shang-Chi and I was in no rush to watch it, but I did watch it because, why not? But I thought the movie was terrible. If I'm being completely honest, the movie was trash can dumpster fire to me. And for various reasons. I feel like the pacing was terrible for an origin story, like terrible. They go right into explaining everything about Shang-Chi, but they don't even do a good job about doing it. And then I think I'll probably say it was about 45 minutes into the movie. I paused for a quick second to go back and look at the origin stories of other MCU characters, which is like Iron Man, Captain America, stuff like that, Thor, who else? Even Doctor Strange. I was looking at origin stories for them, and for the most part, I'll probably say overall it was probably about the same, close to the same, but they don't even start being themselves until into about I'm about to say probably like an hour into the movie. So you get so much development from that character before you even get into the story. You actually see them develop first, and Iron Man doesn't even make his first suit until like 55 minutes to an hour into the movie. Captain America doesn't go on the mission to save the troops that are on across enemy lines until about 55 minutes or an hour into the movie. Same with Doctor Strange. He doesn't really become himself until that time in the movie. And then who else? Thor. He goes on that journey. So it's like, it's weird because this movie was so bad. Like the pacing was so bad for an origin story. I'm like, who wrote this? It was the worst. I'm like, what? Who wrote this? I don't know. I don't see how a person could be getting paid as much as a writer would get paid from Marvel Studios and then come up with that trash ass story. It was really, really bad. The acting was like bare bones, basic movie acting. I felt like I, as a regular person who does not act, could have potentially do the exact same thing if I wanted to. If Marvel was like, "Hey, we want to pay you some money," and I was like, oh, "Okay, cool," and I just jumped in and was like, "All right, I'm gonna give it a shot." And then I feel like I could have done a better job than the acting in that movie. It was just really, it was terrible. It had nothing. It didn't leave me with anything, in my personal opinion. And it was extremely campy. And I understand, I get that these are comic book movies, but it was way too campy. I don't even know. It was super weird. There were so many things that were just really, really strange about the movie. I like how his friend, how they park cars for a living, and then she goes from being a valet to being this amazing archer that takes down this legendary evil in the movie from like what, in an hour or something like that? Like what, in a day? I don't even know. She goes from being some chick that's never probably shot in a bow and arrow in her life to being this crazy marksman that defeated the greatest evil that whatever that village has ever seen. Really, really fucking weird. Let's see what else. And then there was also I thought it was kind of strange how I don't know, just the pacing, like the whole immortal. I thought it was kind of weird how you can go from ancient China in the beginning of the movie and then see a fucking SUV drive through. I thought that was kind of weird. You don't really blend those. Like if you would have saw an SUV towards the end of like The Last Samurai, you'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" Or, like how do you blend these two? How do you blend ancient China with like an SUV driving through the movie? Thought that was kind of weird, but hey, tried to give it a pass, but I just couldn't. But I ran across this Reddit thread, and I was like, "Yo, who the fuck are these people that are leaving these comments?" So, because of course I left my comment, which it is what it is. But some of these comments, and we'll get into them real quick. Some of them were like, okay, yeah, hot take, the bus scene was the best part of the film. Pretty much, because after this happened, I was just along for this mediocre ass ride. It was just kind of lackluster at that. Like it was really, really, really strange. The scaffolding scene, all right, whatever. If you say so. Let's see. There was another one that I saw. Let's see. I liked it. Did it was what it was intended to do. I mean, I guess you could say that because I didn't have too many hopes going into this movie. You know what I mean? Like I really had no hope going into this movie. I'm just like, okay, Marvel is just making whatever the fuck movies nowadays. I have no clue. They said they enjoyed the movie. Messages off the family about family and how the previous generation live on in the next. And a lot of these comments are really positive. And in all seriousness, I have no idea how a person can watch these movies. You have to be the most basic moviegoer ever to watch these movies and be like, oh, that was really, really good. It was a really good movie and I enjoyed it. Like the movie was fun. Okay, fun for who? Like if you were maybe a child, if you were a child and you were watching this movie, yeah, you might be like, oh, cool. There's martial arts in it and there's special effects. But I mean, come on, like like I said, if you're any kind of adult or just movie watcher in general, how can you possibly be like, yeah, you know what, this movie was really good? Real fucking weird. I don't know. Liked it a lot. And its jokes were okay. I'm like, man, okay. First of all, Aquafina was supposed to be the comic relief, but was not telling any jokes. And they were really bad. I don't know. Like I said, that character was even worse than the other characters. This is the whatchamacallit, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie. It's the Trevor Slattery, the chick or the chick, the dude that played the Mandarin, which is really strange because they tried to call it back. Let's see, and then like they said, most of these were positive. I was scrolling through, and most of them were positive. Like I said, love the film. Like how is it possible? I can understand a person being like, hey, it was what it was. I get that part. But a person that's like, I love the film. It was a fantastic movie. A fantastic movie? Are you kidding me? Like I'd go back and watch. I would watch the old school Fantastic Four before I watch this. I would watch. There are a billion movies I would watch before I even watch this movie. That and if you combine this movie with Black Widow, and I'm pretty sure the Eternals is not going to be any better. I can't imagine that it is. This is exactly why the MCU and the Marvel Studios is just on its way out. It's not going to stand up anymore. Like I literally went back and watched and looked and compared them to the other origin stories of other characters, and they're just not as good, and it shows, and you can tell just by watching it. Literally the development that goes into each character and the writing that goes into these characters, they just had it before they had it. Now they don't. And it definitely shows, and it's unfortunate. And as much as I would love to ride out this ride forever and watch comic book characters and movies all day on the big screen, it's kind of dead, kind of dying, and it is what it is. So But that's the video. Let me know what y'all think. Like I said, I try not to get on Reddit too much because I know it's whatever it is. But I just happened to stumble upon this, and I was blew my mind. So, like I said, like the video, comment on the video, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Gone.